Hi everyone, Languages Lover here and welcome back to Step by Step Towards Fluency. Today's video will be a continuation of yesterday's video and I will cover the 10 must-knows to consider yourself a B1 student. Before getting into it, I want to thank you guys so much for helping me reach 150 subscribers. Next goal for me is 500 subscribers. Can we make it happen? If so, you'd be so amazing to help me. So, if you haven't subscribed yet and you love languages, please hit that subscribe button since I do upload quite often, and by subscribing, you won't miss my new videos. So, that'd be super cool, guys. Okay, now. So here is the level you should reach if you achieve the following points. You should reach B1, which corresponds to Intermediate 1. And just like last time, I'll be using 10 languages of reference I've studied to show my point. Stay tuned, everyone. Okay, so first, an intermediate student should be able to use the future tense pretty well. We talked in yesterday's video that an A2 student has pretty good use of the present tense. On the other hand, a B1 student should be able to talk about what's going to happen tomorrow or in a few years easily. Here's an example this time. In Portuguese, eu farei a limpeza amanhã. I also believe that an early intermediate student should be able to do small descriptions, whether it be about some events or his daily schedule. He should be able to talk about it with ease because at this point he should have accumulated enough vocabulary to do so. So let's see our example for this one, which is in Spanish. Cada día me voy al parque a las 3 para pasear con mi novia. Después, la llevo al restaurante porque la amo con locura. Besides describing his routine, the student should also be able to describe his family, the members of his family. From the name of family members in his target language or describing how they look, he's able to talk about both. So now let's see an example in German. Das ist meine Großmutter. Sie ist 50 Jahre alt. Sie hat braunes Haar und blaue Augen. So as you can see here, I talked about, well, this is my grandmother. I said her age, which I didn't mention above, but you can also talk about her age. That proves that you know more vocabulary. I talked about her hair and her eyes. So, yeah. Okay, our next point is let's talk about prepositions. They're everywhere, right? By knowing which one to use is pretty useful because knowing prepositions help indicate at what time and in which city it happened. And now let's see an example in Swedish. Imorgon ska jag gå på diskotek. Alright, so pretty easy so far, right? But the next one, I actually want to say that it doesn't apply to every language. It applies to most languages, especially Slavic languages, and Arabic, and German, and other ones, but yeah, it is a large majority of languages, but it's not all languages. So, what am I talking about exactly? We need to know this, that words don't magically change forms for fun. I'm obviously referring to cases, which are different word forms that they have different functions in that sentence. Also, I've already talked about cases in my top 10 most difficult languages video, but if you're unsure what cases are, or if you haven't seen that video yet, they're basically different word forms that, like I said, occupy different functions in a sentence. They answer some different questions like, with what am I writing? Who am I writing to? I give him or her what? So basically, like direct object, indirect object, and so on. So here's an example in Finnish. Minä näen sinut, which means I see you. But I also wrote down that sinä is the regular form for you. When since it is I who sees you, sinä becomes sinut in the accusative form, which is pretty much the direct object. Next up, you should also be able to talk about your hobbies. For the example, I chose Mandarin Chinese, and in this example, I use one of my friend's Chinese name as an example. So here's the example, y'all. 糯美喜欢买东西，她常常看书。So basically, I said that 糯美 likes to go shopping and that she often reads books. So that's describing her hobbies right there. So yeah. You obviously need to add up more vocabulary words. I believe that an extra 150 words would be pretty good because by adding them to the 100 essential words you learned in order to reach A2, you can communicate about every topic. Well, not every topic, sorry, but a lot of topics. The essential topics and some other topics of your choice. So for the example, I chose Russian, and in this example, I put some non-essential words, but that are a fun addition to the words you already know. So let's see. Animacja, architektura, autobiografia, tworczewski, and krytyk. Krytyk. Also have some trouble with my rolled R's, but sorry. Still practicing. Alright, and what about adjectives? We need them, right? Of course we do. As a matter of fact, I believe that knowing around 50 different ones is pretty good for a B1 student. Here are some examples in Polish. Zajęty, spokojnie, ciemny, zabawny, odpowiedni. Well done, you're almost done. In order for you to know if you're B1 or almost, I recommend you look on the internet, whether it be on Wikipedia or a book if you have at home, to see if you understand the text's main idea. Because if you read and you understand the main point, it proves how much progress you've made. Here's an example from the Italian Wikipedia page. Well, not an article on the Wikipedia page for Italian. Uno dei primi casi di diffusione sovraregionale della lingua è la poesia della scuola siciliana, scritta in siciliano illustre perché arricchito da francesismi, provenzalismi e latinismi da numerosi poeti, non tutti siciliani, attivi prima della metà del 200 nell'ambiente della corte imperiale. Alright, now for our last point. So last but not least, we mustn't forget to add an extra verb tense to your repertory. However, you don't feel quite comfortable using it properly. And I'm obviously referring to the past tense. You already know how present and future work. You have some knowledge of the past tense because you've just happened to come across it in a text, but you're unsure how to conjugate it and where to use it, and where to use which past tense. Is it like present perfect? Is it past perfect? Is it simple past? For example, in English, preterito indefinido, preterito imperfecto, and all the other ones in Spanish. Those are just some examples, so yeah. And for this one, I use Norwegian, Jij snacket norsk och Jan ville snacka engelsk. Alright? So, that is it for today, guys. So if you have enjoyed, like, share, and subscribe for more awesome videos. And next time, we will take a look at what it takes to go from your current level, which is B1, to B2, which is one step below advanced. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Take care. Bye.